You good? Okay, y'all, everybody's ready? And we are, here we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a special Off the Record tonight, dealing with how to get over a broken heart. Hey, Naima, Islam. All right, we are live, and we got a special guest. You know, as usual, Shakir coming through in the clutch for us tonight. We got Keara.
Yes, sir.
Keara, you waved to everybody. Keara, straight from Gwinnett. Asmeejah holding it down. She's doing something with the camera right now. She's right there. Boom. There it is. Okay. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. And we want to have a very special conversation dealing with, like that, how to get over a broken heart. We really want to hear what the audience has to say. And we want to hear San Antonio. Absolutely. Keara, thank you very much, sir. We want to hear what you all have to say, and we want to hear what our panelists have to say as well. Okay, so the first question, we'll start with Keara. Keara holding it down. Keara, can you please describe, in your words, what is a heartbreak?
To me, what a heartbreak is that you've been with someone for like maybe like a couple months, several years, and you feel that you can trust this person, you can depend on this person. You know, just one day that person just lets you down. You feel that you can confide in that person, and just one day they just don't care anymore. And you might put your all into a relationship, but your significant other does not. So that to me is just like a broken heart, and it's really hard to get over. It's really hard to get over a broken heart. Depends on who the person is. It might take weeks for a person, months, or even years, and it's just something you have to gravitate and move on with the rest of your life. And I've been through that before, so I really can just elaborate so much on that. But I just want to just answer that question there, like what specifically is a broken heart. So it just
Wonderful. And everyone who's in the audience, please let us know what you think the definition of a heartbreak is. Next, we're going with Shakir, holding it down.
But a heartbreak, you can lose somebody, but a heartbreak is somebody that you really invested your time in, somebody that you really love. A heartbreak that's another level. That's when your stomach hurt. That's when you can't eat the next day. That's a heart, because you can lose. I'm telling you, you can be with a lot of women, but it's all that one or that that special one that could really break your heart. The one that you really love, and the one that you really want to be with. So it is a total difference between like a heartbreak and something else. But that's how I can explain the heartbreak, when all you can do is think about them and your body hurts.
Okay, excellent. Okay, and thank you for the side effect as well. Okay, Naima says, to me, heartbreak is betrayal and unmet expectations. Wow, man, you really got deep on that one. Okay, Asmeejah, what do you think? What is your definition of a heartbreak?
Okay, so I think it's like severe emotional distress and disappointment. It's an emotional thing, but you most certainly can feel it physically. When we're talking about love, obviously, you all described that. I think you can experience heartbreak in other situations, like a great loss maybe of a loved one. I think there's other things that can kind of break your heart as well. Betrayal of a friend maybe. But definitely severe emotional distress and disappointment.
Excellent. Thank you all for tuning in. I believe that a heartbreak is definitely I agree with all three, everything that you three have said, but I think that a heartbreak is disappointment. That's ultimately what it is. Boils down for me. When you're disappointed and you're you out here. Yeah, just that simple.
I thought I had her.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. It's just like disappointment. All right. We're going next to Shakir. What are some reasons that someone ends up brokenhearted?
Um, expecting too much from someone. You know, I think sometimes you expect something from somebody, or you expect them to change, or you expect more from somebody than what they're willing to give you. Sometimes you invest too much in them. I think that's what it's heartbreakers leads to. Instead of, you gotta accept, now that you gotta just accept somebody for who they are, so you won't get heartbroken. So it's like if you just in too much investment, I believe. I just believe that you, or too much of your ego. Sometimes you can put too much of your ego into somebody, and you think that they're gonna be something else, just to, like a show off. Like you got a girl that you want to show off to your friends, knowing that she's not nothing, but you just, impressed by her looks, so you want all your friends to see her. So then they all give you your props, oh man, she's pretty, she this and that, and then you want to act like you want to act like she's really wifey material. I'll say wifey material, but she's not. So once she show you that she's not what she is, then you're gonna be heartbroken. Try not to. I think it's when you invest too much in something that's really not there.
Okay, excellent. Asmeejah, what do you think are some reasons for people becoming heartbroken?
I would say deception, self-deception, lying to yourself, ignoring the red flags, just a certain incongruency really between what you want and what that other person wants, what you'll give and what that other person is willing to give. Your expectations, like brother said, and what their expectations are. Miscommunication, lack of communication, possibly not even asking the proper questions as well. When I think about my own personal experiences, I think sometimes you don't ask, so you don't know. They don't tell you. It depends on who you're dealing with too. I also think too, a lot of people experience heartbreak when they're younger, when we're talking about love, in relationships. I think that comes from not really knowing what you want, knowing what to expect, and some of those understandings that develop over time.
Absolutely. Okay, wonderful. Tamisha says, knowing she's not nothing, LOL. She's laughing at Shakir's comment. Thank you all for continuing to comment and let us know your opinions. Okay, Keara, what are some reasons that people end up becoming brokenhearted?
Expecting too much out of a no good person. This person is no good, so why would you expect for them to put their all into relationship? That's communication is key in a relationship. You need to communicate effectively in a relationship so that y'all can build those trust issues, so that you won't have major problems down the road into relationship. Going back to what I said, it's just don't put too much in starting out in a relationship, because 9 times out of 10, the people in our generation, they say one thing and they do another. They're not 100% true to their statement, what they said they're gonna do. They get in a relationship and start saying, well, we're gonna do this, but don't do none of that. They just want one thing, and maybe your significant other does not want that. Like, no, you can't expect someone to give their all, and you don't give your all back to them. So just effectively communicating with your significant other, and don't expect too much starting out in a relationship. You won't get your heart broken, but people have dated years, been married for years, and still get their heart broken, and it's like, it's really sad. You feel like you can confide in that person, and they just let you down, and that right there will lead to depression. And having depression is nothing to joke with. Your friends say, oh, I want to kill myself, or I'm just feeling horrible this day. You need to talk to your friend, just give them pointers on what you think they should do, or just be that leaning support to your friends, so they know that they're not alone. If they feel alone, then they're just gonna feel like, oh, I'm just like, they're gonna shut themselves down, and then other things could possibly happen. People commit suicide over, depression leading from a heartbreak, and that's really not something easy to go through. So
absolutely. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good job, Keara. Thank you for those great responses from all three of you all. Anantris, Farad, what up, Farad? Okay. Yahweh, I got your text message. You already know what time it is. For me, it's one of the reasons that people become brokenhearted is not met expectations. I just think that's the main thing. Like whatever if it's time, if it was whatever you say, you give it to to the girl or to the man that you with, and when they don't meet it, it could be some heartbreak there. If you give your heart to somebody and they don't meet your expectation, it is some heartbreak. Okay, so now the next question we have, we're going to Shakir. What are some effects or the aftermaths of being brokenhearted?
Oh man, it depends. Like I seen people, like she said, it could cause suicidal attempts. I mean, it could be threats. It could be anything. It could get you in the hospital, starvation. It's a lot. Heartbreak is it's a very serious issue. We actually think about it. You know, people could be possessive. Like you don't know what to expect from people. But like you could look at it as one way, like okay, it's nothing. Then if somebody really invested in you and really heartbroken, they might even try to assassinate you or assassinate the girl you're gonna be with or the guy you're gonna be with. So yeah, it's a very serious situation because and then it could change your physical appearance. Some people just eat all the time, stress out their bodies, and then or they could just go into starvation and don't eat nothing, so they get real skinny, anorexic. So it's like it could really hurt you physically and mentally. It could take a toll on you. It could stop you from going to work, stop you from going to school. It could do it's a serious heartbreak is very serious. That's why you got to be careful for breaking these young girls' hearts. All right.
Absolutely. Shakir swear he got deep, boy. Okay, Asmeejah, what are some of the side effects of being brokenhearted? And thank you everyone who's watching as well.
Like turn into a thug. Like I mean, you can become hard-hearted in a way. You know what I'm saying? What Omarion, what was his song? Icebox?
Yeah.
So, I mean the trouble with that too though is if you reject any, love, anybody who wants to love you, then you can't receive it. So, at the same time, it does damage to you, beyond maybe what you intended. I think there's consequences to having those types of guards up. There's, consequences to being distrustful. I think there's consequences to all of it. There's trauma. If it really gets that deep, there can be trauma. You could get crazy, sabotage, mental illness. I mean, I'm laughing. It's not funny, but I mean, these are all real things.
That's right.
I would say too, you could potentially turn into somebody you weren't beforehand. I would say this, people go through heartbreak, they have loss, they have disappointment, but just as a woman, I think the goal is to not ever become embittered, or to not become damaged or allow yourself to be damaged. Or if you are, seek healing, so definitely don't allow it to get to those deathly detrimental places. And sometimes you don't have control over that. Sometimes you don't. I realize that you have to go through certain things in life and then look back and process it too. But whatever the case is, there's some grave consequences to heartbreak. So, I mean, definitely we have to guard ourselves, but with wisdom, and with a certain level of understanding too, to where we're not unopen, inaccessible, angry, bitter, that type of thing.
Excellent, and thank you for your response. Keara, we're coming to you right now. I just want to read these people from the audience. Naima says, heartbreak is very serious and can ruin a person if they don't heal and get the help they need. Absolutely. Brittany Lowe says, side effects of depression. losing your worth and your values of yourself. Absolutely. And thank you, Brittany, for that response. Tamisha says heartbreak can turn you into a savage. X, didn't I tell you I was a savage? And showing love is weak. Absolutely can change you like that. Keara, your turn. What are some of the side effects of heartbreak? And everyone who's in the audience, please continue to engage with us so we can hear what you have to say.
Numbness is the side effect. You will go numb if depending on how long you're with this person, depending on what y'all been through. After that heartbreak, you will become numb. Like you will not be able to eat. You will not be able to think straight. Your mind will shift somewhere else. You're so used to being in that current relationship, that situation, and to transfer that to go to the heartbreak, it's like you're another different person. Like you're not thinking straight. It's really hard. Another side effect, well, I can't think of another side effect. It's just numbness to me. It's just really the main side effect. Or like they said, turning into a savage, having this non-caring attitude to any guy that comes forward because of what you've been through in that heartbreak. You might, see the next time and be like, oh, I don't want to talk to him. He probably gonna do the same thing what my last guy did. I honestly, you can't judge what your past. You can't judge your past relationships with your future relationships because every guy is different. You really can't judge, but because of what you've been through, it's really hard for you to put your trust in another relationship. So it's just that standard right there. You don't want to put your all into something else, and you feel like you're gonna go through that situation, that traumatic situation again. So it's just it's really hard. So numbness to me is a main side effect of being heartbroken. Not eating, not being social, distance yourself from family and friends, and that right there, once you start when you start distancing yourself from our family members and they notice our friends, that's when they should really just come confide in you and talk to you to make sure you're okay, because that being heartbroken can lead to other things, and you don't want anything such as suicide to happen. So numbness is really a main one for me.
Absolutely.
Can I add?
Absolutely.
Baggage. You go into a more positive situation and you take things with you that don't belong there.
Yeah.
I would say too. I mean, like that right there is heavy alone. You find yourself in a more positive situation, and you are, trying to be your whole healthy self, but there's still little things that you find you have to deal with. It creates for others, whomever else you enter a marriage, relationship, partnership, friendship with, I feel like it creates a situation where it might be harder for them to love you, to understand, to be a friend to you. And I mean, that's some heavy stuff right there.
It is.
Can I add to Josh?
Yes, go ahead, Shakir. Bust it out. Break it down.
Heartbreak could turn a good girl bad and a good guy bad as well. I know people that's been through that stage, and now it could really damage because they invest so much where they feel like they don't want to spend that time of their life again investing themselves in nobody else. So it's very serious. So then they have a bad rep, or they have a reputation where it's like, that's so and so, or he's so and so. So I mean, some of the guys, they don't really care. But for a woman, I mean, that's unfortunately women. I don't think that it should be a difference. I think a woman being a whore or a man being a whore type of thing that they do should all look the same. But unfortunately, for a woman, it looks a little bit worse. But when they don't care, it looks really bad when a woman stops caring about themselves. And for a guy, society makes them don't look as bad. But a man that's when you get to 40 and 50 and you still out there doing the same thing, a man start looking really bad. They start looking like, damn, he still ain't grew up. Damn, he still ain't got nothing going for himself. So that's when it hit a man at a little older age than it does a woman in society.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Shakir. Wonderful. Okay, listen, I'm coming to y'all questions right now. But I just want to say this. I was speaking to a woman the other day, and she asked me a question about heartbreak and blah, 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 blah. And by me talking to her, I had what they call a breakthrough. And I said that when I was in the 8th grade, I always tell people my 8th grade story. When I was in 8th grade, I had a very extreme heartbreak in 8th grade. And since 8th grade, I still have not fully gotten over this damn this damn heartbreak. So because of that, I've been real cold to some women who tried to love me, but I got to get over that past pain from damn 8th grade. Because she was asking me something, I was like, and I went straight back to 8th grade, and I was like, damn, I got to get over that. I got to work through that. So one of the side effects is being stuck in the time period on that original damn heartbreak. If like, as soon as that girl asked me that question, I was like, oh yeah, because in 8th grade, this girl tried me, woo woo, and I was like, why am I talking about 8th grade? You know what I'm saying? So one of the side effects is being stuck. Okay, here we come. Naima says, okay, first, now I'm coming to your question. This is what Mimi said. Mimi says, you heal, learn from the mistakes, grow up, and glow up. Thank God for the lessons and don't give up on love. Don't get bitter or turn into a savage. Move forward with faith that God will send you the perfect person. Thank you, Mimi. And these are the kind of things that Mimi sends me every day. Thank you, Mimi. We have to make this.
That's great.
She says, we have to make sure that we don't make anyone a God besides the God. We are all created in pairs, and if someone is removed from our lives, they aren't the one for us. Wonderful, Mimi. Thank you for being optimistic like that. Naima says, what is the difference? Okay, we'll start with Keara on this one. What is the difference between how men heal versus how women heal after heartbreak?
Oh, I know from a woman's perspective, I think women heal slower than men. Men, I promise you, men would just go on to the next female, but that's not essential for a men to do. They want to just move on to the next female and forget about the last female. But later on down the road, karma gonna come back to you. You're gonna be going through the same thing. You're gonna be going through the same thing. You put your last significant person in. No, that is unrealistic to me. That is really crazy. You can't move on to like 2 and 3 females after you've been in this long lasting relationship with your really your significant other. Like that to me is just crazy. So men move on faster, in my opinion, move on faster than females. It takes females a very long time. Females have more emotions. Not that men don't have emotions, but females have very, very sensitive emotions, and you know it takes them a long time. I know from my experience, it's been taking me a while to like get back in the groove. I don't want to put my all into this next relationship because I don't want what happened in my last relationship to happen in my next relationship, and that's to me, you need to think about what went wrong in your last relationship so that you don't bring that into your new relationship or your current relationship. You want to, be a better person than what you was in the past. So, men move on faster to me than women.
Men move on faster. Excellent. And I thank you for that. Okay, Shakir, what's the difference between how men heal versus how women heal?
I think men, it's like the turtle and the rabbit. The race. The man's like the rabbit. They go fast. We move on. We may move on faster, and we think we're doing something just because we got a new girl, whatever. And the women, they sit back. They absorb the whole situation. They taking accountability. They really thinking about the whole situation more than us. So they actually healing at the same time while they getting over it. Men, we just try to move on so we won't think about it. And then we get to a period of time where we moved on so fast and we'd be like, damn, I really love that girl. You actually start really thinking about the girl you had later on while the girl's already starting to get over you. So later on, we start trying to double back and try to, hey, come back. Hey. What happened was, you know what I mean? But the woman, they like, I'm done with you. I don't even want to go through that no more. So our heartbreak, I think it's equally. But I think it affects them in a longer term because they're steady. I think we're steady trying to get a woman like the one we lost, because we realized later on that we lost a good woman. And the man and the woman, they're trying to get a man that's nothing like what they just lost, So I think it has a longer effect on us than it do on them.
Absolutely. Okay. Hold on, Asmeejah, before I answer your question. Tamisha says, I think heartbreak hits some men later emotionally, but they can physically move on with no issues. That is the case for some men. Mimi says, I think women process the emotions immediately and feel our feelings. Men use other women as band-aids and the emotional pain hits them later. Absolutely. And then Naeem was just laughing at what Shakir's saying.
Or the next is a rebound.
Absolutely.
Rebound.
For a minute. No, wait, that rebound. Hold on, that rebound it's only temporary now. You got that rebound. They ain't gonna give you no championship. They ain't gonna give you no ring. They give you some points. You might put up 50 points and still don't get a championship. You know, you wanna get a ring. You wanna win.
Absolutely.
The woman gonna win at the end of the day because they're gonna sit there, think about it, really put their mind into the next situation. Men be dumb about it until later on.
Absolutely. Okay, Asmeejah, what's the difference between how men heal versus how women heal?
Okay, I don't know. I think everything you all were saying was correct. I think, of course, it depends on the person. How fast they heal. I think you heal as fast as you're willing to deal with it. If a man is moving on and he's, rebounding or what have you, he's not healing, so I think a person is going to heal when they start to intentionally, address what they lost, what they felt about it. They may take some accountability for the loss, whatever the case may be. I think that's when the healing starts. When it ends, it's hard to speak on that. It just depends on what has to be addressed and what you have to sift through. I think that we mistake certain behaviors as signs or signals that a person is past something or that they've healed or they've moved on. Particularly with men and women, because some of us are more introverted with, how we handle stuff. We go inside. Some people go outside to other people and they use the village, the support system. Sometimes you use people who can't help you. So then are you really healing? You're talking about it, you're, crying on shoulders, but, that doesn't necessarily equate to healing. So that's kind of that's a difficult question to answer succinctly. But I do think I'm more concerned with how some men heal versus how some women heal. Of course, I'm most concerned with us women because, men are awful. I'm just joking. But
wow.
No, I'm kidding. I'm more concerned with women because I am a woman, but I would be concerned with men too because I think we are socialized in a way where women may more naturally have outlets to release the pain. But I still don't consider that fully healing, and therapy, counseling, counsel, which can come from elders, can come from people who've been where you are, been where you're going. That can definitely help. But I feel like men are less socialized to release and be honest with themselves and others about, how they feel.
Excellent. Okay, Tamisha says some women will listen to Mary J. Blige eating Haagen-Dazs, while some men are more like F these hoes. Excellent. Thank you,
That's it right there.
Absolutely. Faraz says I'm dealing with a breakup right now. I feel like shit, and she out here being a Tatiana on the game. Okay, absolutely. Naeem says accountability is a major key. And Mimi says, loving the earrings tonight, ladies. And then ear candy, and she said earrings, guys. I didn't know what ear candy was. I was like, I don't know what that is. All right, but good for the earrings. Okay, back to what Farah just said, because I agree. Because guess what? That same girl from 8th grade went to her Facebook page the other day, and she's still being a damn thought, so ain't nothing damn changed. So y'all want to keep acting, she's still being a thought. Y'all want to keep acting like it's just men who get the breakup and the men go flex it out. She's still the same girl she was in 8th grade.
Oh,
still
nasty. Yeah.
Still the same thing. She ain't healed and sat back and been like no Shakir called her a turtle. Her ass being a rabbit. She be out here passing everybody.
Out of a person.
A damn cheetah.
But wait a minute, were you in a healed state when you attracted her to you, Joshua?
No, ma'am. In 8th grade, I was trying to figure myself out with hormones going crazy.
Wait. was you morally attracted to her, or was you just physically attracted to her?
Man, I don't know what the hell was going on, to be honest, bro.
I think when you're younger, you just look at their physical beauty and be like, oh, that's all I want to be with. I want to show her off.
I was just happy. All she did was smile at me. I was like, well, I guess we're together forever. So I was a simp in 8th grade. After her, I learned the game, and I ain't gonna be like that no more. But she was the one who turned me that way. She made me the way I am now.
Sometimes the prettiest girls are not the smartest girls. You can't always go for looks.
That's right. Absolutely.
And tell Farad if he ain't got no kids by her, he ain't married by her, then she just another woman. He'll be all right.
Okay. All right. That's like Shakir. Sometimes that's cold advice.
I'm saying that's the easiest way to get over. That's the fact, though. But go ahead.
Okay. Tamisha says, "Bust down, Tatiana." She thinks everything's a joke right now. Mimi says, "Josh, you know you were getting." You know what you were getting though, didn't you? People don't change. Wow. I mean, what is going like? Is that what y'all do? Y'all mock me in my 8th grade pain? Just go. Naima said, don't go to her page anymore. I didn't want to. It was an accident. She was in the comments.
That's excellent advice. That's excellent advice. Please stop stalking her page.
Oh no! The stalking thing.
Hey, Josh, did she still look good?
Huh?
Did she still look good?
No, she fell off. But it's not about looks again. It's not about looks. You see that? See? It's not about looks again.
If she got you by a smile, it gotta be about looks.
It gotta be about something. It has to be about something.
Absolutely. Okay, now Shakir, speaking of that, we coming to you. Have you ever had your heart broken? And to everyone in the audience as well, please let us know. Shakir, have you ever had your heart broken?
I'm thinking about it because every time I had my heart broken, I was able to rebound, and then once I rebound, I was all right. So I wasn't never really. I don't think I really got myself really heartbroken yet. Like, I mean, I felt the pain of heartbreak when I thought it was over, and then I could tell you that much. I felt it, like, yeah. But I never, like, I always rebounded, so I never, like, had to endure it to get over it, I didn't have to get over it and try to go elsewhere.
Okay, now the next question, I'm coming to Keara and Asmeejah, everyone in the audience as well. But Shakir, have you healed from the heartbreak?
Yeah, we got back together.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I never had to just keep going. That's the hardest part when you can't go. See, my satisfaction has always been, okay, you got me. And if I could get you back, then it's like, all right, it's like, I'm satisfied. But when you fully invested, though, that's when it gets real, But if you're not fully invested, I don't think I ever got my heart broken. I never got my heart broken because I never was fully invested. I always thought about that, like, okay, I'm lucky I ain't got no kids by her. I'm lucky I didn't marry her. So I always felt lucky. So
okay.
So no, I don't think I had it like really heartbroken.
So how have you healed?
How did you heal? I see people get their hearts really broken, so I can't say I got my heart broken. Like, it was temporary. Like, I felt the pain, yes, but I always mentally told myself I gotta get over this thing. But I did go back. Like, you still go back. Like, dang, what about a girl? Then it'd be like for a moment, but then reality sets in that you can't do nothing about it. So go ahead and just keep going.
Okay. Okay. Now, so Shakir is giving us a glimpse into the mind of a man. Okay, Keara, have you ever had your heart broken?
I have, unfortunately.
Yes,
I'm still young. When I dated my first and only person I ever dated in my life, it was when I was in high school as a freshman. Dated for 4 years, and after that, it was just a lot of things fell off due to lack of communication and other things. And no, I haven't gotten over that heartbreak. It's really hard for me, and it's still hard for me to still feel a little bit of that numbness. I don't feel as numb as I did when it first happened, but I'm going on 23 now, and when this happened, I was still young. I'm really happy that it happened to me young, not while I'm older, but anything can happen, but it's really hard to go through a heartbreak after you put your all into a relationship, into someone that you really, really, truly love. And after all that, that was, you know, your first person, that was your first everything. It's just like really hard, and it's like really sad. And to me, I want to help like other women that go through these things, to let them know you are not by yourself. I just take it day by day. I have people that I can fight in. They can help me to you know, feel better about myself. To me, after you get out of a break, go through a breakup, you tend to have low self-esteem, and after that I just felt like I had low self-esteem. But as I gotten older, I just gotten better, and you know, I've truly found well, I'm still finding myself and who I am, but it's really, really, really hard, and it's like really, really sad to go through something like that after, you know, you've loved someone and, you know, you felt like you can trust this person, and just boom, one day it's just everything is just gone. It's like I don't want to cry, but it's just like really, you know, sad, and it's like depressing. You know, you don't think you would ever go through anything like this in life. I didn't think I would ever go through anything like this in life, and I really hate that I'm going through stuff like this, but I feel blessed that I have people that
wonderful,
that are here for me.
Good. Yeah, that sounds like Keara. Excellent. Okay,
wait. I need to. Can we double back real quick?
Yes.
So let me say, when you say I got heartbroken before, but it's like it was temporary. So how do I explain it? Like I felt the pain of heartbreak. How about that? I felt the pain of heartbreak, but I didn't like the pain of it. So I tried to, straighten myself up so I could make it work. So I rebound from the heartbreak. Can I say it like that?
Absolutely.
Is that a good point?
Yeah, Shakir, you was good with the first one.
Because I didn't understand. When you say heartbreak, I have to really think about it. Yeah, I felt that pain. I felt it in the stomach, so you start thinking, you get your deep thoughts and all this stuff. You think about the other person a whole lot. So I have been heartbroken before, but God blessed me to fix myself, because I caused a lot of the heartbreak though. That kind of weird. Like I was the cause of all the heart. Like I can't say they was the cause of it. I was the cause of the heartbreak, but I felt the pain of the heartbreak. How about that?
Okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Tamisha is making jokes about her movie buddy. Okay, so Naima says, I have experienced heartbreak, but I'm thankful for it. It was God showing me that my husband was out there, and humbly speaking, my life is so beautiful, and my definition of a perfect for my husband Jamal, aka Yahweh. Excellent, Naima, wonderful. We thank you for that, and learn how to bounce back for your heartbreak. Okay, Asmeejah, have you ever had your heart broken?
Absolutely. What's the next question? Because mine is, yes, Shakir went all around the world with it.
That's a deep question. I have to really think.
I'm just saying, now that we're back from the other side of the world.
Y'all had me a deep thought right there. Like, dang, man, y'all want me in pain or something, man. Y'all trying to bring that pain.
Well, I mean, I guess obviously there's levels of heartbreak. So it sounds like maybe your heartbreak wasn't as detrimental, or maybe you're not connected to how it harmed you, which that's why I feel like I most certainly have had my heart broken, and I was very connected to it. But I think too, you have many disappointments as well, like small situations that don't break you down or, change who you are, or, stop you in your tracks, the way that the deepest level of heartbreak can, but you process it later and you realize that was trifling, or like you said, you've broken hearts, which I feel like I have. I think I've caused someone, or maybe two, heartbreak. And you may process that later as well. So what was the other part of that? Because most certainly I've had my heart broken.
Okay, yes, I'm coming right back to yours. Mimi says she's talking to Keara. Thanks for sharing, sis. You will meet a man who will make you forget the pain you are feeling right now. You will love again. Excellent. Thank you very much for your affirmation, Mimi. And by the way, this podcast is brought to you by Mimi's book. Everybody go get it on Amazon. Okay. Asmeejah, have you got? Oh, you got it, Asmeejah. Have you got healed from your heartbreak?
No, well, in ways, most certainly. But I think too, I'm healing. I feel like healing is a process for me that requires, you know, prayer. It requires, you know, my relationship being strengthened with God. So I feel like that's an ongoing process. I feel most certainly that I am still in an active state of healing from disappointment. And I can say that with peace at the same time. So that might be a little strange, you know, but I feel too, some of the hardest aspects of the healing I've been through already. And there's going to be some additional aspects of it too, because I believe in counseling. I've gone through counseling, and that was just, you know, cathartic. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. I got far more from it than I thought that I would. And the heartbreak isn't necessarily what took me there, you know, so, but I just feel like I'm in a constant state of healing, you know, personally.
Excellent. Okay, and then you told us that you healed through counseling and through prayer. So those are great. I want to just tell you all, because I have the answers, because my sisters are watching on Facebook, so they'll try to keep me honest. But first of all, my heart has never been fully broken because, you know, I've just never given my heart away to somebody completely like that. I don't believe I have. But when I was in the 8th grade, there was a girl who I liked. She lives in Oakland, right? Oakland, California. So I was talking to her quite often for some months, right? Like some months one time. It was long distance. She was in Oakland. I was in Naperville. But when she came to the school I went to, she wound up talking to my best friend instead of me, right? So that was very heartbreaking. That was very emotional to me. That caused me a lot of pain, right? You know what I'm saying? It broke up me and my homie's friendship for a certain time period. Yeah, it was hard. And me and him, we cool now. I saw him last year face to face, and you know it's all good. You know everybody's moved on, but
they're not still together, are they?
Huh?
They're not still together, are they?
Oh no. She's moved on and he's moved on. But that heartbreak, you know, I mean, I guess that was my heartbreak right there. I guess I was like, oh, all right, that was my heartbreak. I was heartbroken. I think I got healed from that. I'm cool with her. I call her birthday. She called me on mine. I call him on his birthday. Call him on mine. But that was my heartbreak because, you know, she played me in front of everybody. I was bragging on her. She was coming out here to be with me. Then she came to talk to my best friend. Okay, whatever. But you get over it.
So wait a second. You know, can I ask a question?
Yes.
So was that heartbreak or was that a shattered ego?
I don't know. That's a good point.
You got real people out here with broken hearts, you know, in pieces. I'm just joking. I'm not trying to take anything away from your experience.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't. That's why I say I don't think I had a heartbreak. But my sister was like, "Josh, everybody has a heartbreak." But that experience, it sounded
like a crush break.
Level, at the level that you were, it was a broken heart at that level. You know, maybe the man that you are at this point in time has not experienced.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I did like her a lot. And I had made, you know, you make plans, like, you know, with your friends, like, hey, I told her brother, like, hey, bro, your sister come out here, me and her forever. I met her, I talked to her sister. She comes from a big family. So I was talking to all her siblings, like, hey, yeah, boom, it's a wrap. Yeah, it's me and her. Told my family about it. Told my pops, my mom. So it was like, so to me, it was kind of hard. Like, I don't know.
Okay, so why is it so funny then?
It's funny because Shakir knows the person. That's why it's so funny about it. But it's just that's why it's funny because Shakir knows the person. But I'm just saying it was yeah. Naima says stop bullshitting the people. Naima, don't say it to the people. Look at you saying on Facebook Live. How you saying that? She's talking about something. We want the tea. Ain't no tea. Ain't no tea. And Tamisha says, how many 8th grade stories do you have? This will all happen in 8th grade. Shakir. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, that really did happen though. And Shakir, didn't that happen though? Did that really happen? Legit happen, bro.
Yes, but
I can't hear you, Shakir. I can't hear you.
A little bit backfired because, you know, recently, you know, at Savers Day, you know, where's Josh? Oh, where's Josh at?
Shakir, just stop bringing up the bad stuff. Stop bringing up stuff back in the day.
You never asked me about Josh before. Well, now you're gonna try to start coming in.
Shakir, whatever.
He always answers my text messages.
Whatever.
That's what I mean. sometimes, you know, the person that get their heart broken, the person that was the wrong one, you know, usually hits them later. Like me, that's what I said. I always was the heartbreaker. So I always felt it later on. So I could tell you from that aspect. So I never experienced somebody just breaking my heart. You know, like I know I could have always did more, or I was out of pocket. You know, either one, it was my fault at the end of the day. Like I had to look in the mirror and realize it was my fault. So when you have to do that, you look at it from a different angle than the person at heart. Like I let people down, you know. So when you invest somebody and they let you down, that's totally different. Maybe friends and family and stuff like that I could relate to, because you invest in them, then they let you down, and you trust them so much, and then they let you down. But as far as like a woman, a significant other, nah, I haven't experienced that.
Okay, excellent.
But by the way, you're still on top, because now they did ask about you. By the way,
thank you, Shakir. I'm glad
just like I asked about the ones that I broke their heart later on. I'm like, hey, come on back. You know what? You was good, the grass ain't that greener on that side. The grass ain't that much greener. I'm ready to
it was brown. It was brown.
Absolutely.
It's very brown.
Mimi says Josh was a playwright and an actor, y'all. Keep that in mind. Thank you, Mimi. Okay, so Keara, who do you think breaks more heart? I think you already know the answer to this, but who do you think breaks more hearts, men or women?
Of course, a lot of people would say men, but sometimes you gotta look at the woman. She just the woman might be a user. She just might be there just to get that man's money. To me, I think men break the most hearts. Men will break a woman's heart just to go be with the next female, just because her body image. Then she'll look at what the woman has going for herself. Not all women want to be with a man that's just good looking. I mean, that is a key factor in a relationship. But I want somebody that has brains. I want somebody that's kind of been through something that I've been through before, so that they understand how I feel. They understand, you know, what I've been through. Like, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Shakir, who breaks more hearts, men or women?
I think women kills your heart. I think women kills hearts, men break your heart.
Okay.
I don't. But they might say the same thing about us, because they're looking from a different aspect to where we're looking at it. We're feeling the pain. I can't tell you how a woman actually feels, but from a man aspect, I think that it really hurts when you feel like, you know, you got this woman and she's all this, and then you find out she's really not all that, and you like showed her off. You know, we got pride, we got ego. You know, men got a lot of big egos. You know, women have an ego, then they know how to check their ego. Women. It is the way they handle stuff is way, like they say, women mature faster than men, but later on men mature. Like women, like they really analyze stuff, and like they really be in deep thought. We be mad off something totally different. We be mad off like our white to us is black to them. Like it's night and day. It's really different. We're thinking that they out there doing something, but they really in the house just sitting there acting like they're doing something, but they're not. So we'll go out there and do something and show them. Like, no, seriously though, like their maturity is different. They'll stop answering their phone just to mess with us, and they really not doing nothing. So their mind games is really stronger than ours. Like we're weak at when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I say we probably get ours hurt the most, but we probably do the most to hurt their heart.
Okay. That's nice and political, Shakir. You should run for mayor. Absolutely. Asmeejah, who breaks more hearts, men or women?
I think that's a hard one. I think it's equal, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think it's equal. I feel like anybody is capable of breaking a heart, male or female. I think it matters less about the gender or the sex per se than it does the state of that person, you know, what they have going on with them. Because there's a lot of things that come into play when you break a heart. So, I mean, if those conditions are there, If you ask anybody who maybe feels like they broke someone's heart, maybe they took them for granted, maybe, you know, they were dealing with something and it could have been less about the person, more about them, but they didn't express that. So there was no closure. You know, a lot of conditions come into play. I think you could apply those conditions in any situation and you could end up with the same results. So I don't know. I don't think men or women break hearts at a greater rate. That's just my personal opinion. I have no stats at all.
Okay.
And let me add on. Hey, Josh, let me add on. It depends on, like she said, it's a situation of somebody too. Like me, I grew up with a big family. So it's, to me, I can see, like, if I was like, I think if I had a small family, I think it will affect me a little bit more because you'll invest more time in people if you don't got that many people around you, you know? So you'll put all that time. You don't have that much distraction. Like me, if I was in a relationship, I still have to go somewhere. I'm occupying my time because I got so many people around me. But if you ain't got that many people around you, you don't have that much people, you know, occupying your time. All you do is probably sit there and think about that one person or how you could have made it better or how you made it worse or whatever. But I think that's why I get over it a little bit easier because I've seen it a lot, because I have a lot of older brothers, a lot of older sisters, a father. He had multiple wives. So it's like I grew up a lot different than the average person. So I think I look at it different. Maybe someone say, dang, he might be just damaged inside, or maybe I look at it like, man, I might be blessed because I don't have to go through certain situations. You know, so it's like it's two different ways to look at it. You know, everybody has their own idea. You know, because some people, like, there's women that believe in having more than one wife. There's some women that be like, nah, there's something wrong with you. You think you gotta have more than one wife. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. But I see my father. You know, I've seen him build with multiple wives than I have with men that have one wife and they barely could do anything. You know, they barely paying their rent. You know, so it's like I can see the good and the bad. You know, so it's like it's hard. I think that's why my relationships kind of messed up too, because sometimes you invest in a lot of in somebody. Because my father had multiple wives, so why invest in one woman and then she just give you like a mouth, or like if something, like if she just click off, I'm like, man, I'm trying to do all this, and my father had all these damn women, and you know, so it damaged me a little bit in that aspect, because I feel like if I'm investing my time in you and not trying to have multiple wives, you should be very happy and satisfied by just that. But the world don't work that way, you know. So it's pretty complicated out here.
Okay, great, and that's a great insight from that. Farad said, my homie said he just seen my ex working at the liquor store. I'm sorry for that, Farad. I don't want that to be the case. I know how that is. I know how and Keara said she seen the video. Oh, damn, Keara. Okay, well, I think from my experience, I think that women absolutely break more hearts than men. I just think that men are better actors. We are just, we know how to be tough, and we know how to be like brush it off. But once a woman is hurt, you know, of course, by man, we did you wrong. When a woman's hurt, she could be, sometimes a woman can be so damn, ain't no healing her. Ain't nothing we can do to mess with her. She's gonna ruin everybody. I can't love you to death. I can't put no Drake on for you. I can't take you to the con. It ain't that I can do that's going to do something for you. So of course she was hurt. So then, you know, she gave us hell. But I just think men, from the homies I'm talking to, from the men I'm talking to, they out here hurt. They just, in public, they're like, yeah, nah, we don't let each other. Woo. Behind closed doors, it's a lot of hurt. It's a lot of hurt men. I'm telling y'all.
Men try to hide their feelings. I think men try to hide their feelings, like out in public. When they get it by themselves, they probably boo-hooing and crying and saying, man, I did her wrong. I mean, I want her bad. It's no.
No.
Show your emotions. Like
No, I don't agree with that. Don't show your emotions. Control your emotions. A woman would take, oh my Lord, you show your emotions to a woman, she'd be like, they ain't gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that to your face. Hey, they're not gonna tell you that, but look at that girls group chat and see what they wrote about you. This boy was over here boo-hooing, crying, all this talking about he loved me and all this. Come on now. You don't want no man to be over there crying. You can be honest. I mean, y'all say that, but y'all really don't want that.
To
y'all
an
really
extent.
don't want that. So
to an extent. Now you don't have to be boo-hooing in front of them, but don't have this guard up like you're just all hard. Like me, I mean, feel like you don't care.
Yeah, you can show compassion. You can show a little passion or whatever you want to call it, feelings and stuff like that.
Right.
But you don't want no. It's a limit on that, though.
I don't want a crybaby.
Yeah, it's a limit on that.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm glad both of y'all are having this conversation. Thank you, everybody who's watching. Do you think that healing is a public or a private thing? So if I stop talking to somebody, right, and I go put up a meme, and it's like living my best life. We never, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I never liked you. Is that a good thing, or should that be something I do in private? Is that like public healing? Am I just flexing? Okay, we're gonna start with Shakir.
Let me start that one. That's the difference between men and women. That's a woman thing to me. The memes, they'll start putting up memes about a great man, or put up Beyonce, Jay-Z, put up what's that other one, the new one now, the football player, he bought the Masters, Russell Wilson and Keara. They'll start putting up all these little memes, little hints. They'll put little hints, man, I wish a man put a ring on it like that, or want to invest their time in me like that, we rarely do the public thing, because we'll be like, man, it's all hurt, brother. Like, we'll get more clown for it. Like, women would, but they like, I don't give a damn. Women, I don't care what you think about me. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. La, 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 la. Yeah. And all the other women will support that woman. Be like, you right, you deserve that. La, la, la. So we're a little different in that aspect. I think the women wins in that aspect, but I can't stand it. And I think that's why women do it, because they know men don't like it. So then they'll put it up there and say, well, all your friends gonna see this and this and that. So I think that's their advantage towards us. I think that's more for a woman thing, but I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I like a private life is a perfect life.
Okay, excellent. Asmeejah, what do you think? Asmeejah, what do you think? Do you think healing is a public thing or a private thing? You on mute.
Mute.
Personally, I think private for me, but for somebody else, they may feel completely different. I mean, if you lamed me, or you, like if the whole world knows, broke my heart in public. Why wouldn't a person want to be like,
me? Here come the me.
No, I mean, like, I don't think that's mean. I believe in justice. But as I said, for myself personally, private is best. I'm more of a private person.
It takes one person to tell you under that meme coming up. I tried to be private, but now you want to go there. So
right. But I feel like for a lot of people, certain aspects of their life are played in the public eye. So maybe, being public is just the same as being private for us.
Yeah.
If they share certain things publicly, it might just be like any other day for them, But for me personally, I don't feel that way. I wouldn't want to now publicly, in a sense where if your community, your village, or your personal network, and your family, I think it can be played out in that way. You can consult with other people. I mean, you got to let the people know you're single again. You got to.
Look at that. I told you. I didn't know how good it feels to be single again. I'm saying for myself. Oh my Lord.
Too, you have to let people know. You have to let your family know. So if you paraded someone in front of your family they want to know, like, why you didn't tell us?
See, that's it. Men wouldn't tell you. Men would try to hold it in, make y'all all. We would all the men think that you're still together.
I feel like the guys that I've spoken to or I've watched go through heartbreak.
We don't do that.
They talk about it amongst their friends, maybe.
Right.
I don't feel like they tell the truth too, because it's like we laughing, everybody's feeling awkward anyway. You know, you done brought her around us, now she's not around. It's weird. I just saw her the other day. You got your guy who saw your ex twerking at the gas station. It's strange. So like, how can you emote comfortably and share comfortably in that type of arena? I mean, but some men do have those spaces, and where they have those spaces, and women definitely have those spaces, but I think that just tends to be in private still. It's going to be a small group of people that you are close to, or that maybe have invested in some way, or that you consult with. And it's still to a great degree private. Now, you can publicize all the subliminals you might want to with the the statuses, the memes.
Right.
This day and age, you can tell when people are going through stuff through
they bitter.
Oh yeah, or maybe sometimes we assume we can tell, but for some people, it really is a reflection of what they might be going through. But for me personally, I think that it would need to be private to a degree.
Okay, excellent. I'm coming, Keara. You up next. I just want to read these. Mimi says crying is not the only emotion, Shakir. Tamisha posted something that didn't come up like a meme, I'm assuming. That's just a public display of pain. Mimi saying that's just a public display of pain. It's immature. You don't have to convince anyone of your healing. True healing is sacred, private process. Tamisha says private healing and public memes. Mimi says also I've seen memes post
public memes.
Yeah, Mimi said I've seen men post memes and throw shade on my timeline. That's not just women. Tamisha says I'm single again, back on the prowl. Says I've never seen a man go through heartbreak. Tamisha says I wish people would tell me their heartbreak up story on their timeline instead of just taking all the pictures of their ex off their page. I need some answers. Okay, and I guess a lot of people do feel that way. All right, Keara,
it's true.
Is it a public thing or a private thing? Healing.
Most definitely, that's a private thing. You don't want to publicize what you're going through. People out there was praying on your downfall, praying that you broke up with this person. They probably laughing at you because y'all just went through this breakup, and you letting all your business out, saying, "Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this guy no more. He did this and that and yada yada." No, it should never be a public thing. You want to keep that type of information. That's confidential information for you. You don't want people talking about you, because people will try to give you advice, but it's not the best advice. Possibly it's really not good advice what they give you. Probably they just want to see.
They might be single too.
Yeah, they might be single too. They probably want you to be single. They probably want you to be single with their little single club. They probably like, oh
that's
yeah,
right.
my friend's single too, and
yeah.
This and that. No, you're going through a heartbreak. Those friends should never just throw you out there to go to the clubs and everything. You need to properly heal, and that's not a way to properly heal. So to me, you need that's most definitely a private thing. Never let nobody know what you're going through.
Misery love company.
Okay, listen, I'm coming to that. I wanted to just say, Jabella says some people just like the attention and feel they have to do what they feel they have to do that because they put their relationship out there, so they try to heal it out there too. Yes, exactly.
And you don't always have to post your relationships. Have a private relationship. Just you, your significant other, and God. Nobody else in your relationship.
Right.
Nobody.
I never post my girlfriends on my Instagram. That's what I be trying to, that's what I be saying, man. Private life is perfect. So
but what about situations where, I mean, if a person is married, you're not going to be married privately. So if you're getting a divorce, if you're getting a divorce, or maybe if there was a separation, I think certain things don't have to still be shared publicly.
But people pray your downfall. That negative energy is strong.
That's
true.
I'm not
saying that y'all married, and you see a sister probably be over there like, watch, I know he ain't all that. I know she ain't all that.
That's true.
Pretty soon, they put that negative energy in your relationship. You be like, what's going on? Like, we were just happy a week ago.
That's true. That's very true. But at the same time,
see, women does no. See, that's the difference. Y'all want that satisfaction. Like, let all these people know that we are married.
If it it comes to an end, which is what the question is about, I mean, shouldn't people be aware to some degree?
Yeah. If it's never, hey, but if he never was up there, then they'll never have to know.
And that's true.
Okay, so listen,
private life equals a happy wife.
Absolutely. Okay, listen. Okay, so thank you all for your great responses as well. I'm coming to the next question, but I just want to say something about that with the public and private. It's unfair that as men, we have to sit back and take all these shots. We got to sit back and take all of these memes and can't say nothing. Because when the women post, waiting to excel, burning cars up, yes, we got you, bro. Y'all can post what y'all want, and all the girls encourage it. The moment a man posts anything like, I ain't never loved her in the first place, everybody like, damn, he lame. Look at him, he out here shading.
Heartbroken ass.
So it's like, man, we can't even afford to say anything.
I'm like, bro, look at Josh Page. Look at Josh Page. He's going
We can't let nothing out because everybody will be like, bro, that ain't what men do. Real men don't do that. So that's it's right. Like, so we got to just take it.
But we need to keep it that way too, though. I believe we need to keep it that way. Like, men start to adapt so much to women nowadays. It's like them dating themselves now. It's like,
no, I agree.
I agree.
I just don't think that women
it's so bad now. It's like if we say we got to do that, they'll make it so they make us feel bad about what we want to do. Like, oh, why women can't do it? Why did damn, we different, all right? Can we accept we different? Like, damn, next thing you know, they want to play the national football and want to show everybody they can take a hit or a tackle. Like, come on, man. Like it's still roles. I think God made us different because we all have different roles, and it's okay to have different roles. I mean, like, who wants some like attracts? You know, so I agree we should be a little different in some stuff.
Okay, great. Keara, are you finished? Okay, Keara's getting something from her chair. Okay, Keara, you right there?
She just deleted her meme.
I don't post my business.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, Keara.
It was pending.
What's the best advice or guidance you ever received about having a broken heart? And that's to everyone in the audience as well.
Oh Lord. I received a lot. I can't even come to think. What was the question again?
Keara, you got to turn that ringer off, Keara. Every time somebody texts you, it's going off like bing, bing, bing.
I don't know how to turn it off. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. I don't
know how to turn it off.
Okay. But what's the best advice or guidance you ever received on healing after a breakup?
The most one I can think of is you pray. You pray to God that He bring you through this storm. God won't. What's the thing called? God will put you in like a I can't even.
He won't put you in a situation that you can't get through.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Yeah, the best advice that was given to me is to pray. Yeah, honestly, just to pray. I don't see any other advice other than to just pray and pray to God that you'll get through it. That's all I've done.
Okay.
I don't want to put my best up there, so I'm gonna just stop right there. Just pray.
Just pray. Yeah. Okay. Naima says this too shall pass. Mimi says you can change your relationship status on Facebook. Yes, that's right. Asmeejah, what was the best advice you ever or guidance you ever got on a healthy how to heal from a breakup or broken heart?
Was accountability, I would say. While I think most of us are very aware of what the other person did that caused the problem that led to the downfall of the relationship, but I think to truly benefit from the situation, it pays to evaluate where your error might have lied. Even if it comes down to not putting yourself first, even if it comes down to putting that person above Allah, even if it comes down to a situation where you might have enabled the blindness or ignored a red flag, or maybe you were looking at the physical and not the spiritual or the mental, and maybe you know, you were ignoring what it is you like. I got half the package, not the whole package. Even if it comes down to those realities, still evaluate that aspect of it so you can get everything out of it, or else you truly have just lost, you know, because you could lose someone if they're not there. Then they obviously, I believe things are as they should be. They weren't meant to be there. And in some cases, you do the work, you can come back to it. They do their work, they can come back to it. But it's still the connection, obviously, in those type of situations is going to be different the next go round or whatever. But I would say the main thing was accountability and you know, putting myself back on the pedestal that, you know, I came off of at some point in time, to put that person above myself, because, you know, I don't think I'm someone who, you know, just goes all in. Like, I'm either all in or all out. And when I go all in, you know, then there's something there that I believe in. But at the same time, when you have those types of upsets, for me, my experience was that I you know, my priorities were out of sync. At a certain point in time, your focus, it gets blurred, or, you know, something went awry, you know. So I feel like it was accountability and putting yourself first, working, you know, on yourself, focusing on what it is that you need, and still maintaining and expecting that and keeping that standard, because at the end of the day, you're still not going to be happy if you don't. So, you know.
Excellent. Okay, great. Shakir. Okay, Shakir, I'm coming to you. Mimi says the best revenge is to live well, move forward in love. Absolutely. Shakir, what okay, now I gotta make sure I say the question again. What's the best advice you ever got on healing after a heartbreak?
I don't think we really get advice. Men just be like, hey man, I be around some rough fellas, man. I don't think we don't, like, they just take get over it. Like, it ain't no real conversation. It's like, man, you'll get another one. Like, that's how we talk. Like,
excuse
me, real. I mean, like, it is what it is. Basically, that's what they tell you. Like, it ain't no, oh, let's go to counseling. Oh, let's go sit down. Oh, no, it ain't none of that. All my friends like, man, you gotta get over. Let's just go. Let's go to the club, or let's go somewhere else, find a girl or something. Like, their mind, like our minds grew up a little different. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, when you grow up around men, it's different. I mean, what they say is true, but then you get by yourself sometimes. You're not around them for that advice. When you're not around them for that advice, you get like, hold on now. That advice ain't helping right now. You know, just moving on, man. I need her right now, you know? So
how do I?
It ain't, that's why what they say is true. It is what it is. Like, that's a very true statement. It's a small statement, but it's very, very true. If you can't fix something or you can't change it, you got to move on. Like, straight up. Like, that's the best advice you can ever get, is that, like, if you tried your best, yes. Okay, you can't change it, no. So, okay, what are you still sitting here for?
Right.
You got to learn how to look past it. You have to learn how to look past it in order to move on in your life. But all my people, though, I didn't get no good advice. They just told me to go ahead, like you said, just go to the next one. Like, just forget about it. Accept her going on. Accept her doing what she needs to do. You need to do what you need to do. That's all they say. It's true, but at the same time, they still don't know how you feel. You be like, all right, you don't even want to tell them no more. Like, all right, I'm done talking to you. You don't know how I
feel. I do think the best advice that I would give anybody, any woman going through a breakup like that, is to love yourself, to embrace yourself, and tell yourself that you are important.
Man, tell her, go ahead and get another man. He ain't nothing.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But I think too, the accountability piece as well. And when I say accountability, I don't mean just blame yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, it was me. I did it. You know, he cheated because I did this. Like, no.
Oh, true.
When people make a decision that's disrespectful to you, or they do things that harm you or hurt you, those are not your burdens to bear. That's not for you to say, well, I did this. that's why no, it's not, because we're independent people. If a person is influenced or you make them feel a certain way if they're unhappy, people just have choices still. So lots of people go through stuff. Lots of people experience disappointment and don't do things that lead to heartbreak per se for another person, So I just mean that accountability piece is just look at the role that you played in the loss, or look at the role that you can play in your own healing. I mean, you just got to look at yourself, because I know it's so easy to look at everybody else and say, oh, I didn't have this. Nobody told me that. I didn't know this. Those things can lead you to some greater understanding too. But at the same time, you still have to ask yourself, what was it about where I was at the time that I, attracted that, or that, all these different questions can come about, and the answers, I feel, bring peace. They bring about forgiveness. They bring about, greater understanding. And so I think that accountability piece is so telling her to get another man is kind of where I was trying to go with this. I think that makes sense in real life terms too, because one thing that Shakir said was, it is what it is. I think that's a huge, huge, huge statement that means so much. It's just look at it for exactly what it is and don't add anything else. Don't take anything else away. Just call it what it is and be honest about it, and then go forward from there.
Absolutely. Great points. I'm coming to this. Mimi says, get a new squad, Shakir. Tamisha says, thank you next. Ariana Grande. Mimi agrees. Khadija agrees. Naeem agrees. Mimi said, absolutely, it's unhealthy to live life as a victim. I want to say that, speaking of the squads, my friends have horrible advice as well on both sides, though. So I got some of them that I call, and as soon as I say, hey, this is what the situation is, they are very much on the Drake side of things. They're very in touch with their feelings. Bro, fight for that. Stay in there. Go back. It's been 6 years. This and that. I got them.
They laming you up. They say you up. They not no friends. You need to get rid of them friends, man.
They love romance. They just, I know them friends. Then I got some other friends who the complete opposite. It could be the day before I'm about to propose, or if I was I'm in love with a girl, and after I talk to them, I won't love her again. Because they'll be like, nigga, we told you we don't love him. Shit, don't trust her. She out here sucking air. It's like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
So do both your friends, they both talking about the same girl? You ask both sides of your friend about the same girl?
Yeah, about the same person, same situation, same girl.
So was your mean friends end up being right, or your other friend that was trying to tell you to don't stay with that right?
To be honest, I don't know, because I always just follow my own thing and wind up not talking to them anyway, so it don't matter. Like I can't say why the goal, because I'm always gonna lean towards we don't trust them, we don't put our guard down. That's just how I'm trained. So did they
lose your trust, or you just assume?
I just assume. That's just how I am. I just assume.
So did they lose the trust, or are you just distrusting?
Right.
Absolutely.
Good question.
I don't trust them at all.
I don't either, man. That's a problem that black man has. I feel the same. I can't even lie. He's right. It's hard for me to trust a woman, man. They're slicker than men. They learn from their men, and then they top what they men done messed up on and be even slicker to their next man. So it's like I can't
trust them. So
I have to correct you there.
I play.
Shakir, wake up! That's Asmeejah. You know you're about to go.
Not all women. Some women.
Well, obviously, we know not all women, and we know not all men. I just wanted to say,
heartbroken women are the dangerous ones.
That's true, but then too, there's characteristics, selfishness. There's lots of things that can make a person just incompatible with, upholding the standards of a healthy relationship. So I don't agree that women get it from men per se, like a man breaks a woman's heart and then she's just, okay, those things do happen. But I personally just feel like I mean, you got to not give us more credit because this is not positive. But the things that we do to sabotage a relationship or to the issues that people carry into relationship, I just think that's their stuff. That's their stuff. I would love to blame it on men and say, oh, it's but
men just brought it out.
Have our stuff because you see men who they may come from good homes, but they still might be a dog. You might look for the answers for, why are you such a bullshitter? Excuse my language. I'm sorry, but you might not be able to find them with error or fault in their upbringing per se. People just make choices, and I feel like that's one of the major things I think I've learned is you ask questions, yes, but some things just are what they are, and it's not for us to psychoanalyze it all. It's not for us to try to sift through every little piece of it. It's like, he's full of it. And what I feel like I got more so from the males in my family is understandings of what it looks like when my brother's in love with the girl, or he's crushing on a girl, or he really likes her and he's spending time with her, but he's not telling her that he likes her. He's treating her a certain way versus, how he might act if this is, years past when we were younger, a girl might come around and he's trying to holler. The one that he really is liking is the one he just is trying to get her in his space so he could observe her, be around her, enjoy her. The one that he doesn't love or like necessarily, or maybe he's just intrigued by perhaps, that's the one he's trying to holler at, and trying to basically set a date, and then from the women, I feel like I do feel very fortunate that I feel like they showed me that you could be friends with men, you could be around men and be totally oblivious to the fact that a man is interested in you. A man can choose you, but you have to choose him, so I feel like we get things that we can use for sure, but it goes so deep. It's just helpful sometimes to just call things what they are and not try
that's why I don't like
the why all the time.
Josh, see, that's not right. Because we hang around a lot of women all the time, and then that's what we hear all the time. I don't like them. I ain't interested. What you mean? If we say, why you always around this fella? This fella like you. They'd be like, women quick to be like, why you so insecure? Why you so good? And then the question is, you always asking the same question. You telling me if you was in a room, butt naked, he gonna leave out the door. No, I'm sorry, but he gonna leave out the door and not do nothing with you. They gonna be like, well, I'm just saying maybe, but if it's a maybe in there, then it's a problem. No, if he's like your brother won't do that with your brother until you put on some goddamn clothes, take your ass and clean up or something. But so it is different. That's why I don't believe in that old close. Man, if y'all too close, it depends on how much y'all talk. If y'all see each other at Savers Day, okay, assalamu alaikum, salam. Y'all ain't seen each other a long time. Then y'all don't talk again till next Savers Day. That's cool. But y'all talking all the time, every day, and then it's like, hold on, man. This is a little different. You know what I mean? I don't believe in them kind of friends. Like she wouldn't believe in a friend like that if I had a woman friend that I'm always hanging around with.
But I feel like a woman can set the tone and set the boundary for, where anything.
No, y'all can. So can a man. If he's not attracted,
and if a man is respectful,
you can leave him around her all day.
Say it again. What'd you say?
Just like a man, if he tell you that he's not attracted to a woman, or he's really not attracted to a woman, he can be around her all the time. But if y'all have a sense that he will be attracted to or will try to do something, then y'all antennas gonna come up. Well, if we see a man around you all, and we be like, hold on now, y'all a little too friendly with each other, okay? Hee ha ha, too many hee and ha-has, and y'all look at it as, oh, I'm just being friendly. Y'all might just be, but as a man, it's like, come on now, tone it down a little bit, laugh.
No, the thing is,
say some of them teeth for me.
I told you about the 8th grade smile.
I do feel what you're saying. I do agree, but I still think too. I mean,
See, it goes both ways. We could be just as innocent.
The point I'm making is you can set the tone, you can set the standard, you can create the boundary. So, I mean, provided that you're dealing with, and I think most women who may interact with another male that is a platonic situation, especially if they're involved with someone else, they know who they can do that with, and they know who they can't do that with. You know, so if a woman is doing that with someone, and that person is definitely like waiting in the winds, and he just, you know, he got his tongue out, you know, waiting. I mean, if it's that guy, then, you know, that's not
true. But I knew him all my but women be like, I knew him all my life.
What?
Women gonna be like, women gonna be like, I know him all my life. You know, it ain't nothing like that. And men will look like, man, this dude all up on, like, relax, like, you know, we can see him drooling over you. And then
I think those can be the worst situations.
Once we question you enough, then you'll be like, okay, maybe, but I mean, I'm gonna do something. Like, it's like, come on now. If there's a possibility, you might get mad at me one day and want to get a little revenge. He might be, you know what I'm saying? So like, baby, you might be like, you know what? I'm comfortable with you, so I just did it because I was comfortable with you, but you know, it really wasn't nothing. You know, so you open the doors. You know, that's why I don't like that. Your sister friends.
I'm saying that if that is the case, then that was always there. That possibility was always there. That's not going to be something new.
No, it could be circumstances.
Okay, good point. Okay, both of y'all making great points. Keara, this is the last question. This is the last question. We come to Keara, and then we come to everybody around. Okay, Khadija Kareem says, only seen a man in love once. It took 3 decades to see it. Man, that's a rough one, and we hope that definitely works better on that situation.
What happened?
Kiara, she only saw a man in love once, and it took her 3 decades to see it. Okay.
That's crazy.
Mimi says having friends of the opposite sex needs to be discussed before you enter into a relationship at the very beginning, or that won't be an issue. Simple communication. Right. Excellent. Keara, what are some songs, maybe a book, a movie, a quote, or something that helps you get through healing or through a broken heart in a positive way?
I have a whole list of slap songs that I listen to. A whole list of slap songs. I listen to Kurt Franklin's Smile, Kurt Franklin Victory. It was one in particular, Jen, I can't remember the name of that song. I really listened to more of the gospel songs to get me through this healing process that I'm going through.
Excellent.
Yeah, and Ariana Grande. She has some good songs too. Really listen to more of the sad music to get me through. But I do listen to some hood ratchet stuff to just get me out of that mood. Just be like, F these God and just go on.
Absolutely, we understand. Tamisha says women can be friends with the man. Shakir's friends. That's what she was saying. She was saying Shakir's friend's voice. Okay, Shakir. What's a song or a movie or something that you get through healing through a breakup?
You can't get through no healing through no. How your music gonna help you heal? It's gonna make you think about that person. I can't get
song.
Music.
Depends on the song.
No, that makes it that song make it worse. Like, damn, I'm thinking about her again. I'm just trying not to think about it, but the song came on. I like Hustle and Flow. Whatever dude named Hustle and Flow, that's the one I like. Y'all put the song together, but if you watch Hustle and Flow, that's the song I like. But when it comes,
absolutely. Sometimes you gotta kick them out.
But seriously, I don't listen to no. Like, I don't like the music. I mean, because it makes you start really thinking it. Like, even what's her name? Like, I was going through a bad situation with a woman, and that's when Cardi B came out with her song. I was like, man. I said, man, this type of music don't need to be on the radio right here. You can ruin a lot of relationships right here. Because a lot of people leave their whole husband, kids, and everything listen to Cardi B song. Like, man,
Wow.
you know, there's a better life out there. So I didn't like Cardi B song at all. So I think music is bad for the soul.
Okay. Asmeejah, what movies, music, or book or something that helps you heal in a positive way?
Bag a lady.
Okay, so everybody.
No, I'm joking. Honestly, I think for me, definitely music. Music has healing components. Like some people don't want to hear songs about love if they're going through a breakup and stuff like that.
Yes.
I don't think there's ever been a time that I didn't want to hear a song about love, because I mean, it still is what it is. When people are singing about love and they're singing about the good and the bad and the ugly or the most beautiful aspects of it, I feel like I can relate to all of that. So, you know, my current situation is not where I intend to stay, you know, so I want to listen to things that put me in a better state of mind, you know, or I would say too, one of the things I've learned about myself just in general is that it's positive. It helps me to be able to heal others or help people with their healing. Some people are not able to fully engage with other people when they're going through stuff. And I know for a fact, my most darkest hour, I wasn't able to do that. But you know, when I came more so out of it, it was a blessing to be able to be around other people and encourage them in their healing process. Even if it wasn't identical to me, there were pieces that I know Allah placed me in those positions so that I could receive what I received in those situations and be able to apply it to my own healing. So I think I save affirmations, I save quotes all the time, and you look at those things and you just take a piece of it little by little by little. One thing that comes to mind is healing is a matter of time, but it's also a matter of opportunity. And I kind of interpreted that as you have to intentionally decide to heal. You also have to reach out and accept resources. You also have to, you know, function in a state of gratitude so you can see what you do have despite what you lost and how that can add to, and in many cases replace, you know, what you know, like what you had to forego or what you know are missing, or you know. And then too, it's an emotional situation, so sometimes you don't need what it is that you are still longing for, because there's an attachment there. So with healing being an opportunity, it just is a reminder, I think, for me, that it's a choice. Like that quote helps me remember that healing is an intentional choice that you have to make.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you all. I got one more statement. Farad says, my ex is on Snapchat riding around smoking backwoods, listening to Cardi B. Absolutely. I feel sorry for you, Farad. You know, I know how it is. For me, I thank everybody for their comments today. For songs and movies, I don't listen to none of it. I don't even play like that. It's not a game. It's what I'm doing. I'm not watching The Notebook. I'm not watching Love and Basketball. I'm not watching none of that. What I look like? What am I doing that for? Why am I trying to make myself sad? Like, nope. If it's a romantic thing,
Teach, brother. Teach, brother.
None of that.
That's right.
I can't.
I do have a song, but No Scrubs by TLC.
Oh, damn.
We don't want no scrubs.
I
scrubs.
I don't listen to music.
I think the visual is harder than the auditory for me. You know, like I'm not rushing to watch people in love per se, unless it's in real time. Then that's still a blessing to see and experience. But for me, the visual, I'm a very visual person, so I feel like the visual might be a little harder than the audio. But The Notebook, that's not the move.
Yeah, I can't put The Notebook on. I haven't watched a Notebook since 8th grade when this. Thank you very much. That's the last damn time I watched a damn Notebook. I want to thank everybody.
I started watching Misery. Go ahead.
Thanks, Shakir. So I'm saying, what? Like, why?
Oh,
like,
sorry.
Keara, we want to thank you for coming on all the way live from GGC, holding it down. Say goodbye to everybody. Excellent. Okay, thank you for your silent goodbye. Shakir, man. Shakir came through in the clutch tonight and came through with some great answers and some very thank you for being transparent, bro, being real. Say goodbye to everybody, bro.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And everybody that's going through their heartbreak, I feel bad for you. You know, that's something y'all got to deal with, not me. But, you know, out of sight, out of mind. That's the key word. Out of sight, out of mind. And sometimes you got to move on and keep that shit behind. All right.
Asmeejah came through in the clutch with some great talking points and just some great energy. I appreciate that. Please say goodbye to everybody.
Pleasure.
Okay, excellent. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We're gonna put this on YouTube, and thank everybody for tuning in. I hope people got healed. I hope it was some great advice because I got some great advice, and I'm gonna just basically try to get over my 8th grade breakup. So I think
we're gonna go to the 9th grade, Josh. We moving to the 9th grade.
Right.
Move to the 9th grade.
Like, are we in 10th grade now? Can we?
No, we're to the 8th grade. We're in the 8th grade right now. I ain't going nowhere.
We're gonna take you back to the 7th grade.
Have a great night. Thank y'all.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.